This is Design Your Growth, a quiet space for business owners to examine expansion decisions before they make them. Not how to grow faster, not how to scale louder, but whether growth makes structural sense right now. There's a particular kind of restlessness that shows up in stable businesses. Revenue is steady, the team is functioning, clients are being served. Nothing is breaking, and yet something feels tight. It's subtle at first, not dramatic, not loud, just a sense that the current shape of the business no longer fits as cleanly as it used to. Most owners mislabel this feeling. They call it burnout, boredom, or loss of passion. Sometimes they call it, I need something new. There's a particular kind of restlessness that shows up in stable businesses. Revenue is steady, the team is functioning, clients are being served, nothing's breaking, and yet something feels tight. It's subtle at first, not dramatic, not loud, just a sense that the current shape of the business no longer fits as cleanly as it used to. Most owners mislabel this feeling. They call it boredom or burnout or loss of passion. Sometimes they call it, I need something new, but often it isn't. Dissatisfaction at all. It's pressure, and pressure is information. When a business stabilizes, it becomes efficient. Processes repeat, decisions become predictable, problems feel familiar. Stability is earned and it matters. But stability also creates a ceiling, not a financial ceiling, but a structural one. You know how everything works? You know where the friction lies? You know where the friction lives. You know which decisions require your involvement and which don't. There's very little surprise left. For some owners, that feels peaceful. For others, it feels like containment. The restlessness begins there, not because the business is wrong, but because your capacity has outgrown the current structure. Early in the series, we talked about energy miscalculation. Our plans are often built on imaginary future capacity. This is different. This is realized capacity. You've built systems. You've increased your tolerance for complexity. You've strengthened decision stamina. And now the container that once stretched you doesn't. You aren't exhausted. You aren't disengaged. You are underextended. That's a very different problem. Underextension is quiet. From the outside, everything looks fine. From the inside, decisions feel lighter than they used to. Challenges resolve faster than they used to. The friction that once demanded growth now feels manageable. And when friction decreases, tension looks for somewhere to go. It can turn inward. It can become self-critique. It can masquerade as dissatisfaction, but offers it simply this. You have more capacity than your current structure requires. Expansion in this context isn't escape. It's collaboration, but collaboration requires honesty. Because not all restlessness is structural. Sometimes it's avoidance. Sometimes it is comparison. Sometimes it's ego. The question isn't, do I feel restless? The question is, what exactly is this signal pointing towards? Is it a desire to increase impact? To build something more complex? To widen the consequence radius of your decisions? Or is it discomfort with stability itself? Those are not the same. Capacity without direction creates agitation. Direction without capacity creates strain. The season before expansion is where these two meet. You are no longer proving you can run the current machine. You are evaluating whether the machine still matches the operator. That evaluation is quiet work. It doesn't require a new offer. It doesn't require a hire. It doesn't require public declaration. It requires precision. Here's what often goes unexamined. Expansion increases weight, not just revenue, not just opportunity, weight. More people affected by your decisions. More consequences if timing is wrong. More surface area for mistakes. If restlessness is truly a capacity signal, then increasing weight may feel appropriate. If it isn't, expansion will feel like noise. That's why the signal matters, because misreading it leads to building the wrong next layer. The temptation in stable seasons is to move quickly, to assume momentum is required. But restlessness isn't a command. It's a diagnostic. It tells you something about the relationship between your capacity and your current structure. It doesn't tell you what to build. That distinction matters. If you remove comparison, if you removed external timelines, if you remove the idea that growth must look visible, would the restlessness remain? And if it did, is it asking you to escape your business, or is it asking you to build a heavier one? Sit with that. Not as a strategy question, as a structural one. Is your current business too small for your capacity? Or is your capacity seeking something your structure cannot hold?